Hey, good morning, folks. I'm just saying good morning in the chat. Welcome to Ed Henry's Wake Up Patriots. Chris said something about being solo. I thought he said Napoleon solo, and we're back on the Man from Uncle. So I had what is it, 1967 again or something? I don't know, but it's not 1967. It's 2025, and we're going to be talking about mistakes in history. The Man from Uncle wasn't a mistake in history. It was kind of a fun show, as I recall. I haven't seen it for a while, but David McCallum was around forever. He was Ilya Kuryakin, and he also played something in CSI. So I guess a Russian spy defected and became an investigator for NCIS. So I guess when you defect from Russia, you become a good guy. Is that maybe that was the theme? I don't know. But someone who is a good guy who did not defect from Russia is Chris Cordani. Good morning, Chris.
I am defect Russia, not never. That's it. I defect from Turkmenistan, where the buildings all look
Turkmenistan. How about? You sure you didn't defect from Kazakhstan?
You mean South Africa or Newark?
I don't know. How do you tell them apart? I don't. That's like a distinction without a difference.
Yeah, no wonder you want about the left. So how about
that? I don't know. Bayonne is quite the garden spot. I don't know how people don't seek out Bayonne as a retirement community. Just being so close to Newark and all.
Everybody wants to live in Sinatra land. That has to happen. I would love to be around where Sinatra was. That's right. And of course, the Bayonne is also where the comic Ernie.
Sinatra, but that's right. But you don't want to be where Jimmy Hoffa is at, wherever he's at.
Yeah, whatever cities he's at. I have been to Giant Stadium though, so well.
Wherever he's at, or the pieces of him, wherever pieces of Jimmy Hoffa are at. Just saying.
I'm hoping this is the last week I have to wear a sweater to the program. I want to start wearing.
Who knows? It could be part of some.
Darn that lag.
Cool. What you could wear those like Warren Beatty Dickies, like a Warren Beatty. What do you call those things that they have? The Thurston Howell. Oh, I got the Thurston Howell band on today.
I like that. See, that's a cool
name. Love it.
I mentioned that to so many people now. It's like, oh wow, that's a great name for a band, the Thurston Howell Band. We'd like to see an all-girl band named the Marianne Band.
Oh, that's right.
That would be nice. I like that.
I don't know. I would name a band after Rachel Ziegler called the Slow Eye Sally Band.
Oh, hey-o. Poor Rachel Ziegler, but she brings us all about herself. If she didn't mouth off so much,
man,
and maybe the movie.
I don't care about the movie. I love all the shows about the critic and being critical of her and the movie. They are hilarious. I was just going through some of those this morning. It's like, oh man, how can someone be that detached from reality to not see the train wreck that was coming? That was this. I mean, we'll talk about historic mistakes here a little bit later this morning, but I think this was we're witnessing a real-time tornado wrapped in a train wreck with Disney's Snow White. I still think they should have called it beige Marxist, because that's what it really is, And by the way, who thought of putting a P. Diddy party at the end of a movie? Who does that?
Ain't no party like a P. Diddy party.
The only thing they were missing was the baby oil. They had all the white stuff.
Oh, and Hillary for that matter. Baby oil and Hillary oil, which, by the way, that would be castor oil for that matter, just to make us all gag. The one thing about the Snow White movie that is often overlooked is there is another movie that bombed even worse.
Oh, let's talk about that briefly. Yes.
Yes, Robert De Niro, who nobody is more deserving of a bomb, even more than Rachel Ziegler than Robert De Niro.
Bobby,
big tough guy.
Bobby.
There he is, the fake tough guy there. The guy who threatened to heckler when he was trying to heckle Trump.
Was he wearing his pinball wizard high heel boots in this one?
I believe so. He kind of has to. And again, I'm not very tall either. Let's put it this way: I'm 5'7.5". I'm 5'8". I'm an average height, so I'd have to, if I was doing any kind of movies with Peter Isaacson.
I'm not super tall either, but still, this guy. Yeah, I mean, this guy's like a midget, mental and physical both. I mean,
exactly. Variety tried to make some excuses for this, by the way, saying that the Mafia movie is dead.
Okay.
I'm sorry, people. The Mafia movie is never dead. Young people buy the Godfather DVDs. No, it is Robert De Niro. Nobody cares. If a young star today was doing a mob movie, the kids would flock to it. People, first off, Robert De Niro is a has-been to a lot of the young people that go to movies. Secondly, to many of us that watched him in movies, he's annoying, and we don't want to deal with him. We don't have to give him our money.
So, don't get me wrong. I mean, I do love me some Robert De Niro movies before he got stupid. Ronin, I love Ronin. Great movie. Action-packed, good plot. His acting he plays Robert De Niro. What can I say? Casino, he almost had to act. The acting bug bit him and it died, but he still acted a little bit in that. He played a Jewish guy. Did you know that? He played a Jewish guy. I'm not joking. You know, you got the semi-sweet tough guy, De Niro playing a Jewish, I guess, bookie, right? I guess is what he was. In Casino, good movie.
Which was the movie?
Joe Pesci's in that too, right?
Which was the movie that he played the father of a kid who got caught up in the mafia? That wasn't Goodfellas. No, it wasn't. It was something else, right?
No, I don't know. I never watched that one.
No, it was. I've seen it. I don't remember the title.
Yeah, he was a good bad. Yeah, he was a good bad guy. One of my favorite crime movies was Heat. Heat's a great movie, and he dies in it. I'm just saying, it's good all around. He dies at the end, so that's good. Unfortunately, he comes back.
Oh well, he keeps coming back. We don't need to deal with that. However, here's something interesting for you. Remember this song by Bananarama back in the '80s? Robert De Niro's Waiting.
Yeah, I do remember it.
It was a good song, top 40, but it wasn't supposed to be Robert De Niro's Waiting. They're fans of Al Pacino. The song was originally to be titled Al Pacino's Waiting, but it didn't sound right, so they moved it to Robert De Niro.
What a mistake. Al Pacino has his own issues. Have you ever seen Mad TV do the takeoff on De Niro and Pacino hanging out, going to an ice cream store? It is hilarious. It is hilarious.
I used to love Mad TV.
We should bring it up. We should bring it up sometime for the Patriots, because it is funny. It is bitingly funny. And I don't know if we have time to bring it up now. We probably don't, because we have other things to get to. But we should bring it up some morning when we're talking about Al Pacino.
This is the ice cream one, right?
It is.
Let's see if we can pull.
Oh my God!
Let's have a little fun.
It's hilarious.
Okay,
this is hilarious.
All right, Mad TV. Great Mad TV here on the channel. So let's go for it.
All right, well, I'm off at 5, and then I guess I'll come over after work. Oh my God! You're not gonna believe this. Al Pacino and Robert De Niro just walked into the store.
They actually look pretty cool. Is that Will Sasso? I love Will Sasso. He's the best.
Yeah, that's Will. Oh my God, he's great. He's great. This is great.
Bobby, thanks for inviting me for ice cream. Oh, it's no problem. It's my guilty pleasure. I like ice cream. I love ice cream.
That looks like De Niro.
31 flavors.
The real Bobby De Niro.
It's gonna be tough. You want mint chocolate chip? How about some mint chocolate chip? Bob, I like mint, but I don't like chocolate, especially when it's in little chips. See, I'm not sure. I like chocolate. I don't like mint. Mint reminds me of toothpaste. This is not what I'm trying to think about. I mean, ice cream. It's two different things. No good. It's a bad mix, bad flavor. It's no good. Could you do?
And that thing goes about 6 minutes and 27 seconds. I don't think we can play the
You need to check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah, you need to check it out. It's good. It is good. It is good.
It's more like J.B. Pritzker than De Niro.
Well, they get the demeanor of the actors down very well. I mean, the physical attributes. Yeah, come on. Sasso's too big to be De Niro. De Niro's like I said, he's like a short guy. He's like 5'8", fun size, like Anthony Fauci size.
My favorite Sasso bit was the Kenny Rogers Jackass, because he used to do all the Kenny Rogers bits. Well, he combined Kenny Rogers with the show Jackass from MTV and did all these stunts. One of the best was he was drinking a gallon of milk and a gallon of and a fifth of what was it, a gallon of milk and a bottle of whiskey at the same time. And the first guy of his crew to throw up loses. And it was just all sorts of stunts as Kenny Rogers. It was sheer
Will Sasso does a mean Steven Seagal too. He's oh my God, he's funny. So, and I see Trixie in the mix. So Goodfellas and Sin of the Woman, they're both good movies. I agree. De Niro at one point could act. He could be De Niro, right? He played a good De Niro, right? I think nobody plays De Niro like De Niro, right, Chris? Can we agree on that?
Oh yeah.
But apparently people didn't like the De Niro and was it the Knights of Alton, the Knights of Altar 4? Is that what it was? It was like a takeoff on Forbidden Planet.
Oh yeah, I think so. That's right. Wow. Now you got me on that one. I forgot about that. Oh boy, you really
Altar 4. Altar 4.
Yeah. Well, I think Trump does a good impression of Robert De Niro at times. So that's another story, though. Oh, but De Niro bombed worse than Snow White, which is under the radar because he's Robert De Niro, and because he even though he mouths off, people expect that from him. A young actress like Rachel Zegler and Disney together. Oh, that was just bad.
Yeah, Rachel Zegler, Sally Slow Eye. Man, oh man, she's But back to who I wish would play Trump sometime in a sketch, and I think he would do it well with respect. Because he has the same voice qualities. Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken could do a mean Donald Trump if he wanted to.
Oh yeah, he probably could. I could see that. He could do a lot of guys. William Dafoe maybe too, but I think Christopher Walken can do a perfect exaggerated Donald Trump. I like the guy the guy does on Saturday Night Live now. The guy that does it on Saturday Night Live now, I don't even know who it is, does a good job with it though. He does the mannerisms right. He doesn't do it like Alec Baldwin did. Alec Baldwin did kind of over exaggerated, but he kind of overacts anyway. And this guy was pretty good. This guy has Trump down pat. Yeah,
Alec Baldwin. Didn't he get in a fight on air with his wife a few days ago and told her to shut up? Is that a good Is that what male feminists do? Is they tell women to shut up?
Well,
I'm just asking. Am I losing something here? I don't know. I don't know.
So I guess the rich male feminists do that. The other ones are like, I guess they'll tell them to shut up if they make too much noise with their boyfriend. So that's another story for another day.
Yeah.
I saw something interesting on this. Jeffrey Goldberg is getting overexposed, by the way.
Oh, yeah. We should talk about that a little bit since I've been quizzed on this repeatedly over the past 24 hours on Newsmax. If you don't watch Newsmax, you all should. By the way, next week is a quick side turn. Chris actually had me interview Chris Ruddy, my boss from Newsmax, back on our show, our old show. By the way, our old show's for sale if you want to buy it. Not true, just saying. Anyway, we had him on for the upcoming, now pending, next week this time, IPO of Newsmax. So I actually got an invitation to be there with Chris in New York, and I can't go. I guess we're going to have. He's going to be up there ringing the bell. He's going to be up there hitting De Niro. No. He's going to be ringing a bell, not hitting De Niro. But it would be fun to hit De Niro instead. Not that that has anything to do with the stock exchange.
It wouldn't be too far from him, by the way. Tribeca's right there, right?
Yeah, it is. It's it's right. It's literally within walking distance. I've walked that before. I didn't walk into De Niro. By the way, if you get down to Tribeca, you got to be careful because if you're walking outside, you might accidentally step on De Niro. It's like they have signs like look down for De Niro, to be careful. You don't want to, there's a law against stepping on him. Just saying.
He is auditioning for the new Fantasy Island movie that's coming out. He's going to go with his tattoo and say, "Boss, hey boss, I'm going to slug you, boss."
He could be good. I wonder who would play Ricardo Montalban. That would be, maybe
Nobody could do that Mr. Rourke part justice.
No,
And even
he was
Fox
good.
5, when Fox 5 did I'm not going to say remake, a continuation of Fantasy Island, they did it the right way. They put a woman in, but it wasn't a real swap. What they did was make
Yeah.
her Mr. Rourke's niece, and the powers
Ah,
that he had were granted to her. And that to me is good. You can do that. You
yeah.
just right.
You're
And
not
that's a
destroying the
continuation.
character, you're adding to it. Yeah, I know. I agree. That's where they made a lot of mistakes with all these gender swaps and reimagining and like a gay Doctor Who. It's like, okay, please, I'm done with Doctor Who. First, the female Doctor Who, it's not Doctor Who. That's not
Yeah, that's
Doctor
not
Who.
real
I'm
Doctor
sorry.
Who. That nerdy guy was already
Yeah,
annoying. So.
she couldn't act. Yeah, that guy. It's like, okay, a gay Kenyan for being Doctor Who.
Yeah,
I think I'll pass. I have
well,
nothing against gays. Get your own hero. Like develop a Dr. Bai or something. I don't know. Go get something else.
Dr. Alphabet.
So
There we go. How about here's
Dr.
something.
Alphabet.
Maybe they're going to bring in Rachel Ziegler to play Doctor Who. I'll call it Doctor What. I'd take her over Brie Larson.
Dr. Duh. Dr. Duh. Like what? Duh. Dr. What? Duh. Oh, that would be good. That would be good. No, it would be good. If people could get into that, I could get behind that. All right. So we were talking about the thing. So, all right. So first off, I've gone on record saying Jeffrey Goldberg is lying. And I still say he's lying. Was he on the chat? Yes. Mike Wallace has said, I know Mike. I consider Mike a friend. Mike admitted, hey, I did this. I was tasked to put together the group. He did on government approved instruments, according to Radcliffe, to John Radcliffe, the director of CIA. They have government phones with signal on it. So, okay, is it optimal? Is it classified? No, it's not classified. It's actually. Anyway, I'll look at that in a minute inside myself. Anyway, so these are government approved phones, and these are like sensitive. No doubt, it's sensitive information. What I text with people, it's very sensitive. You know, I mean, I text with the evil overlord. Do I want people knowing what I texted with Henry? I know, of course not. But it doesn't matter. It's private. So I consider this a form of government private communication. And Goldberg, and let me remind people who Goldberg is. Goldberg is the guy who said Al Qaeda was literally living in the palace with Saddam Hussein and drinking wine and smoking cigars. Turned out to be completely false. He's the guy. He's the Al Qaeda in Iraq guy. Secondly, another big complete the lie, another myth that was debunked was the whole suckers and losers thing in Normandy in France, where he reported that President Trump said that he called American soldiers suckers and losers for dying. Another he lied about that. So
that's the big hoax right there.
Consider the source. Yeah. So you want to run this?
Yeah, I want to run this, but first I do want to give a shout out to Loves Christ here in the chat here. She's right, and I wanted to say this, but Loves Christ is absolutely correct. T Spooky. Mike takes responsibility as a leader, and that's important because
I agree.
It's bad. What happened is bad, and you said it yesterday. They got to take the hit on this. They got to take the lumps on this. What
they did,
Mike
and they did
go out on front. Other politicians, I mean, every one of them, both parties, they would stand out there and say, nope, we didn't do it. That never happened. They'd lie. This guy says, all right, this is my bad. Never going to happen again. We'll make sure it doesn't, but he should never have been on the chat. We're going to find out what happened. I'll take full responsibility because as Teddy Roosevelt said on his desk, the buck stops with him. Of course, the buck stops here. So let's hear this.
Now the Secretary of Defense and the White House press secretary have said you're lying. Have said there are no war plans there. Have said there's no classified information. So the obvious question is, shouldn't you now demonstrate it? Shouldn't you publish the text?
No, because they're wrong. They're wrong.
But how can you prove that you're wrong? Maybe should you provide them to the House and Senate special committees on intelligence? Maybe. I don't know.
Look at him. Look at him.
Wow. Well, you want to become my lawyer?
I'm throwing this out there, Jeff. I don't know. I mean,
Look at this.
No, I mean, look, I feel like no. I mean, I obviously, let me just put it this way: my colleagues and I, and the advice that, and the people who are giving us advice on this, have some interesting conversations to have about this.
Yeah.
But just because they're irresponsible with material doesn't mean that I'm going to be irresponsible with this material.
Please.
Yeah, you think he's
you know what?
responsible? I mean, again, his past shows the opposite. You think he's responsible and is going to hold the information, or does he not have what he says he have? That's a good question, Tony.
I could, whatever. I mean, you've had a long history, as I have, with dealing with them, and at moments like this, when they're under pressure because they've been caught with their hand in the cookie jar or whatever, you know, they will just literally say anything to get out of the moment, to get out of the jam, and that's okay. I get it. I get the defensive reaction, and but here's the thing: my obligation, I feel, is to the idea that we take national security information seriously.
Boy,
And maybe maybe in the coming days, I'll be able to let you know that, okay, I have a plan.
He does.
To have this material.
Is the host
vetted
falling
publicly.
asleep?
But I'm not going to say that now, because there's a lot of conversations that have to happen.
That guy's a nut. He's a nut.
Yeah, I tell you, this guy, the motions that he tried to pull off, that right in the beginning with the host, it's almost like, you know what, I'm trying to tell you to take my word for everything, and if you're not, I don't want to have to answer to that. That's what those motions, the hand in the head and everything, that's what the snobs do when you don't take their word for everything.
Yeah. I think it's sad. But Tim Miller, he's over the Bulwark, and they're all the neocons. They're the never Trumpers. They're the people who rode the short bus and got their, you know, they were doubly cursed because, Chris, they would ride the short bus on a cold day, and they would lick the window, and their tongue would get stuck to the window because it was frozen. So it's like double whammy: short bus and then stung tucked to the glass. It's terrible.
These are the kids that got beaten up on the short bus by the other short bussers.
That's
How about that?
Yeah. And so that's him. Anyway, but back to people should check him out. Goldberg is, as I mentioned in the beginning, he's the guy who's been through a lot of behind big hoaxes, to one including that helped perpetrate or perpetuate, push us into the war in Iraq, as if we needed any help in that. That's what they wanted to do. But anyway, back to the point. He doesn't have war plans. He has sensitive SSI. There's a special category of sensitive but unclassified information. I get law enforcement stuff, similar stuff. I don't talk about law enforcement information I receive in my law enforcement role. I don't. Do I get it? Yeah, I get it all the time. I give it to the people who need to have it, but I don't talk about it. So the real answer is, if Goldberg was concerned about national security, he would have done a private text to Mike Waltz and said, "Hey, I'm on this chat. I probably shouldn't be on this chat." That's the thing that would have been honest. It's like, "Hey, dude, you effed up. I shouldn't be on this." Now, has this happened to me? It's like, yeah, I've been on chats I'm not supposed to. It's like, hey, I'm not supposed to be on this. Several times, someone who will remain nameless kept trying to invite me to CIA meetings that I did. First off, I didn't want to go to, but I knew who these people were. It's like, hey, can you come up for this meeting? And it's like, hey, I don't want to say the guy's name because it would give away who he is. Like, you don't want to be putting me on these things. Oh, you're right. He did it like 5 times. Like, yeah, no, it's like, dude, don't invite me to these things. I'm not playing, and plus I hate CIA. It's a different story. Anyway, just saying, I have had this happen to me, and I did the right thing and said, I don't think you want me in this meeting. Just say it. Stop inviting me. Don't include me in this sensitive chat. So I'm just saying, the right thing to do would have been said, self-identifies like, hey, y'all, Goldberg here. Remember me from the debacle with Saddam? Remember what I said, everybody? There's Al Qaeda there. You don't want me to be involved in this, but no. He's being dishonest because that's who he is, and he's trying to play this out. He's trying to draw attention to it. And by the way, he's talking about events that happened at the beginning of the month.
Right.
So he waited right before the hearings to drop this. Think about that.
Well, you see, this is what raises my antennae. The idea is these journalists find a way. They're not idiots. Okay, we can make fun of them all they want. This guy is no idiot. He had to have found his way in, and usually, just like any investigator would, or any a good journalist would, find a good turncoat within somewhere along the line in the lower ranks to find a way to get you into a conversation you shouldn't be in, or find a way to get you somewhere where you shouldn't be, or get you that information. So this investigation may turn up another mole. Keep in mind, while Trump and Elon are cleaning house, they're not going to get rid of all the moles that were there. It's very difficult to get rid of people who want to sabotage what you're doing, especially with all the Trump hate out there. You don't even the TDS is a very serious disease, and if you have one or two people within a department, a very sensitive department, even from the neocon end, somebody's going to try to expose you through a filthy journalist, somebody with a little less integrity than the other ones, like a Goldberg here.
Yeah,
that's true.
So so I think we all recognize what's going on, and like I said, God bless Mike Waltz. Mike has said he takes responsibility. I accept Mike's. And by the way, I was asked last night, how long do I think this is going to last on Newsmax? We're done with it. It's done. The Democrats got nothing out of it except they got to yell at some people during hearings. That's all. Right. That's all they got.
The problem was, the thing is, and that's what I tell people right now, that the days of deny are over. The internet's there. Somebody's going to find out, and journalists are more savvy than they ever were. And the rise of the independent journalist is another big deal. So you get out front and say, we did this. This is something that should never have happened. We're going to make sure it doesn't happen again. You know why? Because when you're working, your boss wants to hear that. Your boss doesn't want to hear an excuse. They want to hear, you got to get in front of this and you got to find a solution. And we're the taxpayers. We're the bosses. That's what we want to hear. We wanted to hear that from somebody. I don't want to hear somebody say, oh, that never happened. I didn't do that. Our investigation didn't go awry. No. We want to say, even if a Democrat did that, I'd say congratulations to that person. Although I haven't heard that in a very long time. I don't think a Democrat ever went out front of anything in their entire lives, except for maybe Anthony Weiner, because he kind of had to. And he really did get out front of what happened anyway. That's another story.
Well, I don't know. I think that they got in front of the Epstein issue by being in front of his island, on the island, Epstein's island, right? I mean, we're still waiting for that, right? Where is the Epstein list? What the hell? What the hell?
There are probably a lot of reasons, not the least of which is somebody in this group might have been working for a certain intelligence agency overseas from a protected nation. But again, I'm just not going to speculate too much.
Well, now that I brought it up, I'll bring it up. I'll hit it real quick, and then we'll get to the voting thing. We want to get to that. So let me be clear on this. The people I talk to say that Epstein was helping a certain three-letter agency, not mine. DIA. Let me just be blunt. DIA is like if three-letter agencies rode a short school bus, DIA would ride the short school bus. Just say it.
Oh, ouch.
That it's true. No, if people go to my Instagram, every time I go to the spy museum, they have all the different 18 intelligence agencies, and they have the DIA plaque. And I always take a picture of me pointing at the DIA symbol. It's like, they still suck, and they do. They do. So with that said, I did want to make the point that a certain three-letter agency was funding Jeffrey Epstein like a lot. Because they were using him. And oh, by the way, another country, two other intelligence services from two other countries were using him too.
You mean?
I guess it adds up.
Yeah.
The five, there was other Five Eyes Now, have you ever seen anybody with 5 eyes? Well, Rachel Ziegler comes pretty close.
Oh, that's
all the kind of. It's like the Picard maneuver. You know what the Picard maneuver was? That he used warp speed to make it appear like there was 2 starships. So Rachel Ziegler's eyes are like that. They move so fast, you think they're all over the place. It's like Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
Now that you bring up Rachel Ziegler, I have to bring you this.
Again.
First off, I know we want to talk about the executive order. The executive order is big in the voting.
Yeah, we are.
But you brought up Rachel Ziegler. So this is the best Snow White protest video I've ever seen. This man,
let's see.
I would say he's my hero of the internet today, but there's somebody else I want to show you later on. This one, however, check this out. This is hilarious.
Seems like nowadays you can protest about just about anything. Well, why don't I begin a protest about the fact that Disney decided to use CGI dwarfs? Not even the real thing. We could have gotten hired. We could have gotten money for something, but no. They're so ashamed of the CGI dwarfs. They don't even have it on the first flyer. Well, it's time. It's time to make a movement.
Now you wash the dishes. You tidy up the room.
It's like nowadays you can protest about just about anything.
Absolutely brilliant.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. I do love that. But yeah, I guess to the point that people are talking about it in the chat. If they would have had midget tossing at the end of the movie at the P. Diddy party, they would have made it a hit. I don't know why they didn't think of that.
Oh, that's horrible.
They didn't come talk to us.
I wouldn't say that.
Do you want a hit? Do you want? I'm just asking. Do you want a hit, or do you want a movie that sucks? It's like, I swear to God, no. Come on, now you all know this. I'm speaking the complete truth here. If they had taken like a kegger, like they had beer kegs, and they made it into a kegger party at the end, P. Diddy party, with tossing midgets, it would have been a hit. People would have just gone to see the last 10 minutes of the film, right? Come on. But they chose not to do that, so I don't know.
But he is right. Dinklage was whining about the whole thing, and 7 little person actors lost their job. I mean, that's just horrible. Yeah. They could have had these are well-paying Hollywood jobs they could have had too, and that's again. What?
Well, I still think it was interesting. They still had the 7 DEI Starbucks baristas, at least, that they had in it, right?
Yeah. But the worst is this guy. I know he's a good actor, but he's still nothing in comparison to the great Billy Barty. Or
I agree.
The guy who played Mickey on Seinfeld. He was in a lot of things, a lot of movies. Brilliant actor.
Right. Yeah.
Not his name. And of course, the guy who played Fatumch on The Young Ones. He was in one scene on The Young Ones, but he was also in Willow and others too.
Yeah.
Remember that movie Under the Rainbow from back in the early 80s or late 70s? I think it was.
No, I remember the title. I don't remember it.
Yeah, Billy Barty was in that, and a lot of other. There was the idea was to remake The Wizard of Oz, and they had a whole hotel full of midget little person actors. So it was just hilarity ensued, but a lot of good jobs.
Did you know that there's a whole suburb of the DC that's designed around short people? It's a whole little city.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I thought the Capitol building.
It's a whole little town. Huh?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's actually a place, and they keep it kind of low key because they don't want people to come visit. And I get it. It's but I hear Robert De Niro has a summer home there. Just saying. So,
is he waiting and talking Italian? That's a good one. Robert De Niro has a summer home there. Yeah, I was. Can we get that one?
Can we get Banana Rama on? They'd be fun to talk to. So
I know Shaban Fahey actually toured with Dexys, a new incarnation of Dexys, as the singer for a little while because they needed a couple of duets. He does duets with women on Incapable of Love and a couple others. But anyway, I digress. I did mention that I have one hero on the internet today, and this is a lady who you probably saw on Twitter. And if you haven't, you know how a lot of people say, "I want my religious freedom, but I won't respect yours." Well, this jerk There's a lady on the bus, probably a very hardworking lady who's having a little bit to eat. This jerk who was practicing Ramadan and fasting for Ramadan is trying to demand this woman doesn't eat in front of him.
Oh, please.
In a
please.
public setting on a bus. Check this out. And I love the I love the way she gets back at him instead of whining like wimpy people would do. She just goes right back at him.
Yeah, I can smell that. Do you mind eating that somewhere else? I'm fasting.
That's not my concern.
Yeah, I'm fasting.
Yeah, not my concern. Not my concern.
What do you mean why am I out?
If you're fasting, you should be indoors.
Yeah, but
I'm eating my lunch and you come and disturb me.
Yeah,
What's up?
yeah, but I can smell it.
So what? It's food. Of course you're gonna smell it.
Yeah, but can you not just wait until you get off the bus?
Don't tell me what to do. You're fasting, stay indoors and don't come and bother nobody on the bus.
No, but
exactly.
I'm eating my lunch.
Yeah, but
what's your problem?
Because you're right next to me and I can
Well, go downstairs.
Yep. Do you think you should have manners and not eat inside the
Go
bus?
downstairs and leave me alone. It's my lunch.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm fasting and I can smell it.
That's your business. Stay indoors.
What do you mean stay indoors? I need to go out and see.
Stay indoors. She's right.
Stay indoors, read your Bible, and keep quiet.
Well, first of all, I don't read.
Keep quiet. You should read your Bible and keep quiet. I love it.
Good for her. Good for her.
Yeah. And
yeah, dude, I'm sorry.
Certain parts of Western Europe, you should be arrested.
Yeah. So, and by the way, no Chihuahuas were harmed filming that segment. So just saying.
That's because he wasn't eating.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So I'm fed up with people being rude. And look, we make fun of things here, but I think in real life you'd come to find that we don't step on toes, right? We don't step on toes. We're pretty reasonable on that sort of thing. So anyway, we got to get to this the Trump executive order.
Yes, we'll do that. That's
one.
A big one. That's Wrong a big one. Democrats are going to be in a tizzy over this one. I'm sure they're crying in their soup right
he's
now.
signing. Well, now look, let's be honest here. He's signing all the executive orders. He declassified hurricane. What is it called? Hurricane. The Mueller
operation.
the
Mueller Crossfire Hurricane. That's what he
Crossfire Hurricane declassified that. That's going to be interesting to get through. I haven't even had time to get through that because that was just yesterday. He signed an executive order making Robert De Niro a midget officially. No, he didn't do that, but he should. I think it'd be funny making an executive order saying that De Niro is now a honorary midget. That would be fun. So it would be fun.
Well,
here we are. Election security. That's what you want me to talk about, right? There we go. All right. All right, Chris, you can start off since this was something you wanted to cover.
Okay. Well, what happened was Donald Trump. Let's read it from Zero Hedge here to start here.
Let's
order
read it.
that he signed will cut funding for states which refuse to take steps to secure their elections. He tasked the Department of Homeland Security with ensuring that illegal immigrants aren't voting. Adds a citizenship question to the federal voting form for the first time. It also orders the Justice Department vigorously pursue election crimes, particularly in states that are out of compliance with federal law on election security, and seeks to ensure compliance with National Election Day rules. It also calls for the prosecution of foreign interference of U.S. elections. And let me tell you something. Like paying a British spook to produce a fabricated hoax against a candidate, maybe? How about that? That's what he says. I say a big form of foreign interference in U.S. elections is that awful George Soros. Now it's Alex, by the way, but George Soros is a big foreign influence in U.S. elections. He should be stopped. But of course,
no doubt, and I agree. It's very clear that the Soroses, is that plural? Soroses? Cirrhosis? It's like cirrhosis of the liver.
Yeah, cirrhosis.
Yeah, it's like, man, I've got cirrhosis of the liver. No, you got Soros of the liver. It's true. Anyway, so we're going to stop cirrhosis of the voting liver, that's for sure. And the idea here is, and this needs to be codified by Congress. So I've worked on, some of you know, in my previous life as National Security Advisor to the Trump 2020 campaign, I did a lot of work on this. I testified in front of Pennsylvania, House and Senate at least 4 times. South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Texas. I did work on this issue, and there were a couple of different bills. One was the Paper Act. I think that was the one in the House. There was a couple of competing ones, but the whole idea was what President Trump is doing here, we attempted to codify. And it was always difficult because the states rightfully have kind of their own way of doing things. It's left to the states, that's fine. But I think the idea of having a baseline saying you must confirm citizenship, that's reasonable. However you want to do that, you got to do it. That's a reasonable expectation. And I think the whole paper thing, hand-marked paper ballots tallied by analog machines, not part of a computer. You can push these things through. We do it here in North Carolina. So I think it's important to do that. And by the way, Chris, do you think the Democrats are ever going to win again once they make this about citizens who have to show up and vote?
Well,
are they ever going to win? I don't know.
We don't want to. I know you're being. I know you're kind of joking at or half joking with this one, but we can't do what the Democrats do and try to pretend that we're going to be in power all the time and rest on our laurels and let things happen. The Democrats thought they were going to keep power, and they figured they doubled down on the woke garbage. That's destroyed their party. If they keep doing so, you're 100% correct. They keep double downing on woke. Keep doubling down on allowing non-citizens to vote in
Mm-hmm.
elections that really make more of a difference. Local elections. That's horrible. Then they're going to lose out. But they are, however, going to gain within their own circles, and they're hoping to appease guys like George Soros and the globalist elite who have been interfering in our elections, whether it be through media or financially. That's who they're trying to impress, because the idea is to hopefully push out some kind of moderate message during election season, and then do all their woke garbage for the bidding from their masters in the midterm. See, this is why
there's no moderate message,
right? And they're going to.
There's no moderate message,
right? There isn't, but they do fake one, and they do fake it rather well. Sometimes they did try to fake. They faked it during Obama's election campaigns. I'm not going to say they faked it well during Biden's campaign, but he was the most. He was the most vanilla of all the candidates, if you will, generic. The thing is, they're going to try to pull a fast nose on us, but keep in mind, they're always doing the bidding of foreign interests like George Soros, Klaus Schwab, and the like.
I heard this about the. Red Bull was saying about the verification. Yeah, I heard. I know it's not perfect, but you got to start somewhere. And I think this being a federal law would set a foundation, a standard, national standard, which does not interfere with states running their own election. The issue is, can we tell? And by the way, they try to do this through a number of reforms where they would encourage good behavior by funding. Yeah, it kind of works, but some states didn't take the money. Some states did and abused it. This establishes a standard. And I think to the point of someone in chat, Congress needs to make this into a law. I think Speaker Johnson will do that. And right now is the time to do that. So remember, folks, we're only 2 months into a 4-year administration, right? It's 4 years last time I checked, right?
And again, I know a lot of people on our side, and believe me, I understand their frustration, but things aren't going to happen overnight.
Yeah, it's going to, So, and I know from talking to someone in the administration that they're quote unquote drinking from a fire hose. I'm just telling you that was it's like, because they're that busy. And it really is. I mean, imagine walking into Joe Biden's living room. Well, no, don't imagine that. That's bad. Imagine walking into Jill Biden's bedroom. No, don't imagine that. That's bad. That's probably worse.
All right, yeah.
Imagine walking into Valerie Jarrett's office and finding all of the evil she's been doing, Susan Rice and Valerie Jarrett, and just start like opening up documents like, oh my God. Whoa. So that's what they're dealing with. They're dealing with the ultimate evil. This is like Satan's daughters walking into their den and finding out, holy crap, they did want to destroy the world. They were about to release Cthulhu.
Well, the spaghetti monster, for that matter.
That bad. Yeah, spaghetti monster too. That's right. So yeah, Jared and Rice, the the evil Bobbsey twins. They're like Satan's testicles, left and right. Well, left and left, I should say, because they're both left.
They're the Chick Vinmans, right?
The chick Vinmans. You know, I wonder if they could double date the Vinmans, and that could be that could be a TV series. Meet the Vinmans.
Yeah, but we have to tread lightly when talking about Valerie Jarrett, because you know what happened last time when Roseanne Barr insulted apes at one point. You know, insulted the primate family. So you know, I don't want to be cruel to animals at this point. So we're gonna tread lightly here. However, this woman, she's the one. Wasn't it Valerie Jarrett who introduced Michelle and Barack Obama? She built
drugs?
the Frankenstein couple.
To each other. Oh, to each other. Yeah, well, probably to drugs too, but yes, I think that's true. Yes.
Look, I don't know what kind of lesson anybody learned in their lives, but everybody who pays attention should know: never trust anybody out of the Chicago political machine, ever. Not that the other machines aren't that great, but I'm talking about Chicago. It's like, that's history. That's a lot of history. It's like Boss Tweed is like, Boss Tweed is
no, I agree.
Thinking, boy, these guys are great.
No.
So
they were. I'll give them that. They are brilliant and they're evil. They are literally evil geniuses. That term is way overused, but they are evil geniuses.
So what we're going to do is, I'd like to get Dr. Corsi on sometime next week to talk about this executive order, how it's playing out, how states, Democrat states, are reacting to the whole thing, and seeing where this goes. Because this is going to be, the media is barely going to report on this until there are going to be Democrat reactions they can try to shape a narrative with. But they tried the poll tax narrative years ago. They said, "Oh, this is all have an ID. Voter ID means a poll tax. You got to pay for an ID." Well, forget it. We'll pay for an ID. Tax money is supposed to go to an ID. Take all that money out of Serbian DEI training and put it towards giving everybody a free ID. You don't carry it around. You can get a free one at the DMV, even a non-driver's license, anytime. There you go.
Yeah. So, it's a great point. And so, to that point, I can't guarantee it, but you know, Roger Stone has asked me to come on his show, as you know, because I saw you respond to the email on Sunday. So maybe we could ask Roger to come on our show. Do you think we could do that?
I think we could. As a matter of fact, there is another way to do so.
Does he and Jerry get along or not? I don't want to air dirty laundry, but do they get along or not?
I think that's a question for those guys. You know, I think there's a lot of beeswax involved in that, but I'm not sure if any of it's ours. So,
well, I don't mind having Roger on. You know I've been on Newsmax with Roger when he was hosting some Sunday or something, and our friend Stephen Gardner. If you don't know Stephen, go check him out. He does some extraordinary. He's just a guy that wants to get to the truth. Anyway,
we like Stephen Gardner.
Full disclosure, I go behind baseball. He had Roger Stone on. Roger said, "Hey, I see you have Tony on all the time." He says, "Yeah." He says, "Do you think Tony would come on my show?" It's like, well, I'll ask him. And so it's like, Roger used to have direct contact with me. I don't know what happened. Anyway, we'll see if we can get Roger on at some point to talk about some of this stuff. He was just talking in the Twitter. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I should be on some sort of list too, because I know a lot of people have tried to say, "Hey, can Tony come on here?" And it's like, yeah, of course. Tony will talk to you. And Roger Stone, he's definitely. I've listened to him on ABC. He's very good on the air. John Catsimatidis, we took that station over. I want to give him some props because he readjusted.
No, I like Katz. I get along with Katz. Yeah, he's cool.
WABC, when I used to listen to it, was during the John Manelli era. They had one of the best lineups. They had Curtis and Kuby in the morning. Of course, a couple other morning shows on and out, in and out. But that was
we're talking about WABC in New York, by the way, not the TV network. 77 WABC.
Bob Grant, the king of talk radio of New York City, was there. Jay Diamond, when he was conservative, he became a filthy liberal after a while, but I think he just goes where the money goes. That's all. That's about him. He had Kurt.
Rita Cosby.
Yep.
Rita Cosby got another award for her work. I tweeted it last night. Good, God bless Rita. We should have Rita come on. We have all these friends that we have on our atmosphere. We always forget. It's like, oh yeah, that's a personality.
I've actually addressed this with her, and I should talk to you off air about that one. So we'll discuss all of that.
All right.
You guys are
all right. We'll discuss all of that.
Meeting. Here we go.
That's right. You stumbled into a production meeting. Hey, Chris. Hey, Chris. Do you still have an appointment for that to see Dr. Jill Biden for that dental proctology visit.
Oh, yeah, because I don't want to see Fauci anymore. He keeps giving me too many shots, and I hate needles. But anyway,
That's right. That's right.
and he makes me wear this red pointy hat for some reason. But again, and it even says Rob. And
Rita's on Newsmax. She does a Saturday Report, and she's on WABC answering MK Hart, Mark Hart, M. Hart. I don't know. I can't pronounce your name. But anyway, that's where she's at.
She's on WABC twice, I believe. She's on at night 10 to 12, and she's on with Katsimatidis at 5. The Katz and Cosby show. So she's on all over the place. But what Manelli also did was make it very local. That's what I want to get to. He also brought in local liberals like Ed Koch and Lynn Samuels. What Katsimatidis is doing.
I've been on with Ed Koch. Ed is on with and David. David, the blind governor, which I think is great.
Oh, David Patterson was one of the best governors.
David Patterson, I love him.
In New York.
He's great. I mean, it's really, and then Judge, the judge is on there too with him. Judge Weinberg.
Yeah,
and those guys are all liberals. They're all Democrats, and they get along.
Well, Patterson. I like what Patterson. I like when Patterson openly defied Barack Obama when Obama said, "You know what? We don't want you to run for governor. We want Andrew Cuomo." Now it hurt him politically, but I think he's doing well now. But what Katsimatidis is doing is bringing different shows, a lot very hyper focused locally and some focused nationally. It's a good mix. He's done a great job at that station. That's where I was going. In a roundabout.
And by the way, John Katz actually runs a big group of grocery stores. During the day, he stocks the vegetable aisles of the stores, doesn't he? That's what he does during the day.
Huh. That's pretty cool. Now, our guest had trouble, but it's not a good guest week. He had trouble getting in. Let's see.
It's 2 days in a row, Chris.
Yeah,
that's 2 days. We've had guests blow us off 2 days in a row. So
2 tech issues in a row, supposedly. I'm going to have a talk with some of these PR people here, and we don't like them, and that's funny. Anyway, we're going to.
Yeah, this is not Chris's fault. By the way, we actually, believe it or not, try to do favors for other folks to bring on people. It's like, oh, you want to? Okay, you can come on the show. And then it's like, okay, so Chris, this is not Chris's doing. This is Chris and me being nice guys saying, hey, yeah, come on the show. But sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
Hey, I do know, and I've been in the radio business for a long time. I do know guests sometimes cancel out last second, and I usually have a plan B, and I always have a plan B. The good thing is there's always something to talk about, Tony, and that's a great thing. There's always something. We have so much material we can't even fit it in all day. But I do want to ask you a question that I thought was very interesting that I saw out there, and this is since you are a great national security expert here. Donald Trump's tariffs. April 2nd, the big day is coming. But Donald Trump also decided to slap a 25% tariff on any country buying Venezuelan oil, and China is even backing down over this. We don't have to put boots on the ground to increase or retake our power amongst the global hierarchy here.
No. Look, China is just but among. I can't even talk. China is but one of a number of countries that are backing down. Another big one was India. Is that did I say it correctly? Is that the British way? India.
India and Brazil. Brazil is even backing down.
India like dropped tariffs down to near nothing because they had like a 35% tariff on U.S. Made stuff coming into India. So of course it's like, well, people can't buy it then. So so Trump said, okay, we're going to fix your wagon. We're going to do it to you. It's like, no, we're going to drop it. We're going to drop it because they can't live without exporting. We can't. It's like, okay, you want to, fine. You're going to. So no, I think it's very effective. And I think Donald Trump has equated economic security to national security. I've said this a number of times. I worked on his campaign last cycle. He believes it, he lives it, and he's effective in doing it. So the stronger we are economically, the stronger we are militarily in many ways. So I think it's a good thing he's doing. So it's effective. And we're going to see more of this. By the way, folks, again, as I said, we're 2 months into 4 years. So, he's going to be like He's going to be like taking people in. It's like India is going to want to become our 52nd state after Greenland. Just saying. So,
oh yeah, and we don't want Canada. That's another thing. At least India will learn. Will
no,
but
no, we don't.
Here's something. Here's something for you as
Yeah.
well. We touched on this yesterday on the program, or was it earlier in the week? I think it was Monday. Brazil. It's Brazil and India have started to back off a little bit as far as the BRICS currency and say, well, maybe we should go back to the dollar. And so apparently the de-dollarization
and Russia too. Russia said it too.
Well, Russia, and again, we touched on this one yesterday. The idea is, Tony, that Russia, and again, maybe that was Monday because the days mixed with me, but the fact is
Russia.
Western Europe is one of Russia's best customers. And especially when it comes to oil. When Russia sees the danger of the U.S. becoming not only self-sufficient in oil, since we don't have to deal with OPEC or any foreign influence, but we were net exporters when Donald Trump was president last. So what Vladimir Putin knows is if we are net exporters again, we can get Western Europe to buy from us at a better rate than Russia can. And then, not only does that keep Russia take a set of Russia's customer base out, but it also makes oil less expensive because of the competition, and that hurts them.
That's true. So let me ask you a question and ask the folks in the chat. When China looks at Russia, what does China see? This is not it's not a trick question, believe it or not. It's do you know what the answer is?
What?
Lunch. Seriously. No, I'm not joking. China sees itself as the global hegemon. That's a big word for dominating, force. Kind of like Lizzo at the salad bar. Don't want to get in her way. Just saying. Yeah, it's like
Brian Stelter.
Man, or I should say Lizzo at the Pizza Hut all-you-can-eat lunch bar. Just saying. That's not. Did you hear that Lizzo will go into a town and take over the Pizza Hut for herself for a day? It's like it's like a big. It's terrible. Anyway, but that's what China. Just imagine Lizzo, pizza bar, and China, Russia. So just again, Lizzo, China, pizza bar, Russia. And so that's the way they see it. And so Russia knows this too. So Russia doesn't want to be like, we don't want to be a pizza bar, thanks. So Russia, I think, has recognized that they're better off working with us. And I think that's why Donald Trump is working with them. As I said yesterday in my rant, and I appreciate you all letting me go on about it, and our evil overlord didn't get upset because I didn't get any calls on it, at least yet.
Not yet.
Maybe I will. But my point being is that President Trump understands the dynamics of international relationships. That's what he's doing. So, he sees that, China is like Lizzo. And how do you deal with Lizzo? Well, care for her. Maybe. I don't know.
Well,
Did you hear that Lizzo's going to be in a movie or something? I heard this on NPR yesterday, so it must be true. So, by the way, Chris, did you know people on NPR live in an alternate universe? I swear to God, I listen to that because once in a while, like you get little, they had an Al Jazeera reporter talking about Hamas. So you get some information there because they whine and they talk about, Hamas, it's not their fault because the people in Gaza are all dead, all their leaders. It's true. And the billionaire leaders in Qatar, well, they don't know what's going on. Yeah, probably true. But it doesn't matter. But it's good to hear. But the other thing they talk about Lizzo acting in a movie for the first time. It's like, why do I care about that? It's stuck in my brain now. So it's stuck in your brain now too. There you go. So
yeah, Lizzo's year or two run is probably going to be over pretty soon. I think that what Hollywood and the music industry is trying to do is milk that last 6 months out of her so they can line their pockets and that's it. And then just say, all right, you and Brian Stelter can fight it out at the buffet table later on. I also want to give you one more thing.
I don't know. She could swallow him whole. I mean, she could just drop her jaw down and just.
like a snake. Did you see this video about Jasmine Crockett? Some guy took the time and put a Jasmine together. And this is
Little Miss Violet. Yeah.
This is funny though, and I want to props to this guy too. We find some really cool stuff on the internet.
Jasmine Crockett has the moves to fix America.
Y'all about to find out.
She is definitely on the side of the American people.
I'm rooting for Canada. I'm rooting for Mexico a lot. Black folk not have to pay taxes. I don't know if that's not necessarily a bad idea. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up.
We all know Jasmine Crockett is a fighter.
Chairman, if I come and talk shit about her, y'all gonna have a problem. We are gonna be on your ass.
Her consistency is unmatched.
Now it looks like a little bit over a year ago. And boo, let me just be real. And we ain't gonna sit for that.
Jasmine is always bringing the facts.
Let me make sure y'all got the facts. Most extreme crimes that take place are committed by white supremacists.
It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally.
There has been no oppression for the white man in this country.
Stop being Putin's hoe.
We're gonna make sure you understand what democracy looks like.
Jasmine Crockett, the leader we probably don't need.
Get it?
Oh man, I hadn't seen that. That's eye-watering. That's like walking into a kitchen with onions being cut. Man,
well done. I
oh my God!
A lot of theater, but again, as you know, she does not really sound like that. She is not street. She is. Oh, I must go to my meeting right now. After we have the posh party, we need to watch our favorite movie, Baps, pretty soon.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
And did the maid make my bed? And does the butler have my lady fingers before we go on the congressional floor? That is what Jasmine Crockett really sounds like.
Did you see she tore Laura Loomer's phone off in Congress? She pulled it, and Laura's going to sue her now or press charges, which she should. I know Laura. We're not friends, but I know her. Laura, she can be wacky, but she was completely right here. It's like she needs to go after Miss Crockett for assault. So
I respect what she does. She's I don't agree. I don't always agree with her, but I respect what she does. She's not afraid to say anything. She's not afraid to do anything, and she's not afraid of the consequences. Go
check out Chris Plant. Chris and I are friends, so go listen to Chris. He's great.
Yeah, there we go. We like.
If you're going to do something after the show, go listen to Chris.
I like it.
Tell him we sent you. Tell Chris we sent you.
I shall. Wait a minute. I'm Chris.
Shout out.
Who knows? There's too many.
Well, Chris Plant.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. We got to go. We're overtime again. And even if we don't have guests, the hour goes fast, as people notice. Yeah, Chris Plant is good. He's a good guy. We're friends. So I only have friends with good guys, right, Chris? We're only friendly with good. Jasmine Crocker and I, we'll never be friends, right? Hillary Clinton, she'll never be our friend.
No.
Lizzo, no Lizzo for us.
And definitely,
although there's plenty to go around.
No Jamie Raskin either.
No, Jamie, no, I don't think so. They couldn't pay us. They couldn't pay us enough to be their friends.
No,
so,
and definitely no Chuck Schumer. Nobody. That guy's a slime, a snake right now. He's a snake grasping onto this.
I got to talk to Bob Hayes. Bob Hayes and I are friends. I haven't got his check for the month, so I don't think we're friends right now. No, it's a joke. No. I'm joking. Bob and I are friends with that. Bob doesn't send me money. Stryker doesn't send me money. We're friends anyway. I do owe him a call, so I got to go. I got to remember that tonight. So we got to go. And then, Chris, think about that though. We need to get. Maybe you think Jack Hughes would come on and talk about UFOs on the show? Because I love Jack. Wang Chung. Everybody, Wang Chung tonight.
We could do another UFO round.
Jack would be fun to talk about because
Yeah. But I do want to do that round table where people of all sorts of views coming in, trying to figure out a way to get along and why that era is gone, where we can always disagree. We can.
Well, Taco. Would you think Taco would do that?
I think he would because he gets along with us. If he could put up with us, anybody can.
Yeah, like Taco.
Taco and Dawn, I think, would be good from the left side. I would like to see.
Did you hear he's going to do a new song?
Oh yeah. He's always doing new.
Did you hear he's doing a new song about Lizzo putting up? Yeah, he's putting doing a new song, putting on the Pizza Hut bar.
I actually went back and forth on him a little bit. Had a little fun with him. He goes because he's talking about how sometimes the right is a bit racist. I'm like, remember what your hit song is really about. Irving Berlin wrote "Putting on the Ritz" to make fun of black people.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
What did he say? What did he say? Can you say what he said?
Well, the idea. Oh no, he laughed because obviously that's not his intent. Because it's a great song. What he does is tribute great songs of the past and put them in a new wave. Put a new wave spin to it.
Yeah, I know he's great.
Original stuff. But if
you don't follow him on Facebook. Yeah, he's great. He's a good guy.
Good guy altogether. Yes.
Yeah,
we like him. Yeah. See, we could be friends with a lot of people.
Yeah, we like it. We are. But just not Lizzo, not Dr. Biden,
No.
So no.
EDD. I think we should go EDD.
No Dr. Biden.
Yeah, and by the way, I know we haven't given any.
Does she treat ED?
I don't think it's worked. I mean, all things considered.
No. All right, what were you going to say, Chris? I interrupted you. What are you saying?
We didn't really touch on the Department of Education dismantling enough, so maybe we should get into what. Yeah, we could talk about that. We're in overtime right now, but let's try to do that next week. I know we'll
do that, and then you wanted to talk about somebody about national security something the other day that we didn't get to as well.
There's no time. Well, we got Trixie.
But anyway.
we got Trixie, Sean, and George tomorrow and Friday, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and we'll be back on Monday.
Check them out tomorrow and Friday. We're off doing other things tomorrow and Friday. I got county commissioner stuff. I was in a meeting last night on this. I'm on the Albemarle Regional Health Board. I'm an executive on it. And I'm no doctor, so God knows what kind of treatments are going to come out of my advice. No, it's only half a joke because I am on that. I am actually on that board. Anyway, no, I got county commissioner stuff to go do.
Behind the
I got to drive around the county and see if I can and find that salad bar for Lizzo. So that's what I do.
Yes, unless
Well, I'll try. All right, Trixie, we'll try. No, Red Bull. We'll try to bring Blaine on. We'll reach out to Blaine. Well, but Blaine, I don't know. Blaine is. He's trying to get dispensation to come on certain shows, and we're one of the shows that he wants to come on. So.
Cool.
But I will ask Blaine sometime too. Yeah.
Yeah, we like Blaine, but
all right, we got to go. Yeah, we got to go. He is a good guy. He's a great guy. So, all right. So, Patriots, thanks for being here. Thanks for enjoying our wake up hilarity. No slow eye Sallies in this crowd, huh, Chris?
Yes.
No, everybody has good eyes.
Ooh, ouch. No gray, and of course, again,
all right.
Robert DeLuca.
All right. Well, we got to go. We're way over. So good seeing you all. We'll see you next Monday.